Hello everybody! My name is Emily and I have 6 children and I have 2 that are special needs. One has Angelman syndrome and the other has autism. This video we're going to be talking about stemming, what is stemming, why people stem, and how my boys stem. And I will be adding clips of Griffin and Sawyer and how they stem. And I just wanted to do an overview on what it is and what it means so everyone can understand it, because when I had children that were diagnosed with disabilities, I did not know what stemming was. I was zero, out of the loop, did not know, and I've learned a lot and I wanted to share. So let's get into it. So the term stemming is short for stimulatory behavior. It is sometimes called stereotypic behavior. So stemming is very typical for children with disabilities, especially autism, and Griffin does, who has Angelman syndrome, has some stemming. Sawyer's stems, from the ones that we have seen, is spinning, toe walking. He will take something and put up to his eye and go like this to it. And he does have certain sounds that are stems too, which hopefully I'll be able to insert some of those videos so you can see what they look like. So everything I've researched, stemming is very common in everybody. If you bite your nails, if you twirl your hair, if you chew on something a lot, that is considered a stem. But people with disabilities, they can't control it. They have a hard time regulating it. And from what the research shows, that they say stemming helps children with disabilities calm down, helps them regulate their emotions. So that's why you see, for our cases, when Griffin or Sawyer are upset, we notice the stemming getting more alert, like more out there, more aggressive, like they use it more. I'm lack of better words, I'm having a struggle. They use it a lot when they're in a bad place or having a hard time. Griffin and Sawyer are in therapy, and some of the therapy is focusing on helping them control their stemmings or using them appropriately. I am not somebody that wants to stop stems. I know that if it is something that helps them calm themselves down or something that helps them, I want them to use it, of course. But I need I need them to learn to be able to use it correctly and appropriately if they can. So like Sawyer, he is a toe walker. I believe that is a sensory issue and it could be a stem. But we are trying with SMOs to get him on his feet flat as much as possible, because we want him to be safe so he doesn't fall so much. I want him to go through the world not always on his tippy toes, because it'll stand out. And I'm not against him standing out, but you know, you want your child to get through life without as much on them as possible, if you kind of get what I'm saying. But again, I'm not against toe walking. I'd love for him to get a little bit more on his feet flat as possible. So Sawyer, he has the ability one day to might have a job. He might be able to be, you know, in the community. Griffin, probably not as much, but Sawyer, it's very possible he might be able to go to college. He might be able to work with people. And so I would love for his stems to be able to be controlled and him to be able to use them in a way where it doesn't interrupt what he has to do if he's in school, if he is, you know, in a workplace. So he is stemming that doesn't make people uncomfortable, because some stems that he does make people uncomfortable, like his spinning stems. He can spin 50,000 times in a row and have no idea who's around him, and he could hurt somebody or himself. You know, some of the stems where he's like this can be a little frightening to children or even adults. So I'm trying with therapy to give him the strengths and the skills to use them appropriately, so he can hopefully be able to go to school and have a job and not have his stems be in his way. So Sawyer has a lot of stems. I would say he has the ones where he rocks, like when he has a pillow or a blanket. He does this a lot. I think that's a stem too. And I do think he has the noise, like where it's overwhelming, where he can't handle certain noise, even though our house is very loud. So he has a lot of stems, and a lot of them are totally not in his way. There's just a few that I think he needs to work on, so as he grows up he will have an easier life. Griffin's stems are very subtle. I would say he loves to grab people and to do head pressure, and I believe that is a stem. I think he likes that motion with other people's hands. He has biting. He likes to chew and bite people and himself and clothing and toys over and over again. He really is a mouth sensory kid, but he definitely uses his mouth to stem for sure. We are working on that because one, he bites himself and he will wound himself, or he'll bite others, which that's not okay. And we gotta work on directing him to his chewy, or just I would even be okay with his clothing because I'd rather him not bite somebody. But he is chewing on his clothes, which we are working on trying to get him to just go to a chewy, so he doesn't bite anything, and he learns that like that is what he needs to do to relieve that chewing sensory stem instead of biting somebody or himself. And with stemming, I have noticed that they ebb and flow. They have days when they are prevalent, they are here, they are stemming all over the place. They are non-stop. Again, it could be a high emotion day, and there are some days I don't see really any stemming. Sometimes Sawyer will be going, he'll have a mouth stem, like a noise, he'll go all the time. Sometimes he'll be not spinning at all in a day, and he can't stop walking and doing circles around the table. So it's fascinating to me because, I don't really know how this works. Doctors don't really even know how it works, but there are good days with stemming and there are bad days with stemming when there's just a lot that happens. I know over the summer, I think because there was no schedule for Sawyer, it was just therapy and there was not a lot going on. His stemming, I think, it was very intense. I can remember he had his numbers and he was really focused, and he would go really it was intense. And the school mentioned that his stemming seems to be increasing a little bit right now, and I'm not sure why, but they are working on it, trying to give him other things that he can do instead of needing to spin 300 times. But they are letting him, of course, stem because it does help him in the long run. I know when he does OT, if he needs to spin, if he needs to do something before, if he needs to do the crash pad, usually if he gets that stem out, then he can do the therapy that he needs. So I highly recommend letting your kids stem. I just recommend therapy and trying to guide your kids to the safest stem, and just working on it because that's all you can do. And it's just fascinating, and fascinating that the whole, everybody stems, everybody. It's just, with children with disability, it's just super prevalent, because I know I stem. I bite my nails, I sometimes chew on plastic, I twirl my hair sometimes. So it's in everybody. So that's what I think I would have never known if I didn't have kids with disabilities, and it's so eye-opening. We're gonna end this video here. Thank you all for watching. If you have any questions, please comment down below. Please follow me on all my social media. You can follow me on my Instagram or my TikTok. My TikTok handle is What I Love to Do. We are very active over there. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. But please don't forget, guys, you all are wonderful.